What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Robbie Williams as we return to the In and Out of Consciousness double CD. Thank you again to Michaela, both for the CD and for arranging the tracks in chronological order in which they were released. And the next one in chronological order is She's the One. It sounds like a designation of emotional significance, if not overt romantic intent, which is to say, often when you hear this type of phrase in art of different kinds, music, films, and so on, it's when someone has decided there is no one else of interest, there is only one person that they want to pursue, or that they already have strong, affectionate, romantic feelings for. So I do wonder, number one, if this is in that vein, that the she in question is the object of affection, romance, and or desire of the narrator, and secondarily, whether this is another tune with autobiographical lyrics. And indeed, I think a couple people talked about how Robbie really started to have some hit tunes when he started to derive his songwriting from his own experiences and his own life, public and private. So I would not be surprised if that's the case. I will try to follow along. Let's give it a listen. This is Robbie Williams, and the tune is She's the One, included on his double disc greatest hits compilation, In and Out of Consciousness.
She was me, we were one, we were free. And if there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. We were young, we were wrong, we were fine all along. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. When you get to where you wanna go, and you know the things you wanna know, what you wanna say, and you know the way you wanna play. You'll be so high, you'll be flying. Though the sea will be strong, I'm the wheel, carry on. 'Cause if there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. When you get to where you wanna go, and you know the things you wanna know, yeah, smile. What you wanna say, and you know the way you wanna say it. You'll be so high, you'll be flying. I was her, she was me. We were one, we were free. And if there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. If there's somebody calling me on, she's the one. she's the one. If there's somebody calling me out, she's the one. She's the one. If there's somebody calling me out, she's the one. She's the one. If there's somebody calling me out, she's the one. She's the one.
Big church organ chords that really stood out to me in the last minute or so. But yes, a very sonically rich tune, lyrical, emotional piano. We've got strings, a big organ, obviously drums, also some guitar in there, I think. But yeah, in a way it sounded modern. It sounded, 2000 or later, and yet in another way it reminded me, I don't know if Beatles-esque is the right word, but it did have a bit of a throwback feel to it, especially in the chorus, but even to a lesser extent in the verses. But yes, it felt like if you took an old-style popular tune from, again, 40, 50 years ago, and then, I say 40 years ago, that would be like the 80s. So yes, okay, 60 or 70 years ago, again, like, late 50s, early 60s, but then filtered it through a more modern production context, maybe you'd get something like this. I did enjoy Robbie's vocals. They seem to hit the emotional feeling. Now, lyrically, I'm not quite certain. I do think he is speaking about a she who is indeed of the greatest emotional significance, probably romantic, but he's talking about when they were young, and so I think this is something that's happened over a period of time. Maybe it's looking back and saying, of all the people, like, who could call me on, who could inspire me, or, make my heart sing, or want to reach out, she's the one. But even if that's the case, I'm not sure if she still is in a present circumstance doing that, or possible to do that, or if it is more of a reflection and, maybe the one who got away or something like that. So I'm going to say more likely that it is still ongoing, or at least potentially ongoing. And I do wonder, again, how autobiographical this is. I'm assuming on some level it likely is, but yes, it feels like there is that level of significance of emotional feeling. I just can't quite place the context of it on this first listen. But as I said, a very rich tune sonically, and I especially enjoyed the piano, though as I said also, in the last minute or so, those big church organ style chords really did stand out. And there was a point maybe halfway through where I was really noticing the strings, and I think there were some backing like choral style vocals, though like maybe subtle in the mix. But yeah, just a really nice composition beyond, I think, his fitting vocals and the intriguing lyrics. So yeah, another tasty tune from Robbie. Once again, big thank you to Michaela for the double disc, and we will continue to go through both of these discs. I forget, how do you access the second disc in here? I ripped them both. Okay, it is like that. Sometimes it like flips this way, sometimes you gotta pull it backwards, but yes. Thank you again to Michaela also for arranging the tunes so we can go through them as people would have experienced them, as many of you did experience them back in the day. I know Izzy and some others have been commenting about, what each song kind of represented in the trajectory of his career, which is cool to hear about. So let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.